Hello, everybody. How are you today? I hope you're well. Today, it's kind of the first chilly day inside, and it's gray and it looks cold outside. And I'm taking this time to make a video for you about my writer's notebooks. Actually, this me, 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 me. Actually, this will be two videos. I want to talk about the writer's notebooks in general and then an author notebook, how to use one notebook for when you're writing a book. And I know that the Patreon is really about art and it's not about writing, but I wanted to share a video series that showed all of the kinds of journals I use. So the next ones we'll have after the writer's notebooks will be how I use my business planning notebooks, and then a video just about all the random weird notebooks that I use and all the different ones I use. You can see them right there. You can see some of them. So I have gathered a handful of videos. I'm sorry, a handful of notebooks. Oh my God, this is heavy to show you. This is just a small number of the notebooks that I've been filling as a writer. I've been writing in notebooks forever, 30 years, I think. And most of them are in boxes in the garage, and they're not organized. And there's that part of me that I'm sure you have too, where you're like, someday I'll go in there and organize them according to date, and I'll label the boxes, and maybe someday I will. And I even thought about bringing them in and showing you and stacking them up. And when I lived at my old place, I had them all out. And I was going to make this video series way back when. This video series has been in the works for a long time, and only now am I doing it. But I went around my studio here and I pulled out some of the notebooks that that I have. And I didn't want to do a video showing the pages because I don't really want you to read my pages. Some of it's personal and private. But I'll talk to you about how I use them, and I'll show you a few different kinds that I've used over the years. And then some of this will be a little bit of a trip down memory lane for me. So mostly in the writing notebooks, when I was young, a girl, I loved to read and I wanted to be a writer. And so then you write things in a notebook, right? But I didn't really start, I don't really date my writing life as starting until like 1994 when I took a writing class and really learned about free writing. And that's how I learned how to just write creatively, write imaginatively, get beyond the inner critic, get beyond that blank page where you're just like, I don't know what to say. And so I've been keeping notebooks since that time. In them, you'll find free writing, and a lot of it are almost like a chronicle of my life as well, because there's lists, there's groceries, there's weekend tasks, home project plans, a few sketches. Sometimes there's some things glued in, and I'll show you that. But I've never been a big collager. I do collect ephemera, but it's not like a big part of my practice. So when I look back at these notebooks, it is like a peek back in time. And I just want to show this first one. Look at how freaking cute this is. It's this little leather notebook. It's got travels embossed on the front. And then it's, I think this is from Banana Republic. It's got these great maps in the back and a pocket in the back. And this is the notebook that I had when I was a student abroad in France in 1988. And I'm sure someone gave this to me as a gift. I don't remember that, but it must be because it's so perfect for that. And this is one of those notebooks that is, it's like half full. So this part is all unwritten in. But then I do have pages from another little notebook that I tucked in the back. I don't know what that is. Here is my student ID card from 1988. That's what I looked like, Cindy Morris. And then the first page starts, it says, On en France and travels throughout Europe, August 30th, 1988 to August 10th, 1989. So I do like to put the dates at the beginning where, so I know like what this notebook is from. And when I was looking at some of the notebooks that I found that I hadn't done that. So I did it. And I used to be called Cindy, Cyndi, until I moved to Colorado in 1991. So don't call me Cindy. I don't like that. That's actually my sister-in-law's name. My brother Ken married a Cindy. So we have a Cindy Morris in the family. So I'll just show you some notebooks because I don't have a specific kind that I use for forever. I've used a lot of different ones. This one is this kind of nice fabric covered cloth notebook, and it says Edinburgh 1990 to 1994. So I lived in Edinburgh, Scotland, right when I graduated from college. And look at this. This is how I describe myself. He's a hedonist, atheist, anarchist, lover. 1990. That's who I was. And there's a list of vocabulary words at the first page: inveterate, incongruity, and I'm like, I don't know if I was learning vocabulary. Irascible, demagogue, adjudicate. Maybe these were words that I just loved and thought that were fun. Fatuity, stupidity conveyed with an air of pride or self-satisfaction. Futility, vanity. So then the first entry is from the 27th of September in 1990 in Edinburgh. It's so difficult to know myself, to know what I want, easier to know what I don't want. I was like 20, 21, 20, or right after college. And then a couple months later, start writing right now, she says. It's where writing is supposed to be. Dreaming down through the layers. So I was kind of taking some like postmodern classes and into poetry, and just really trying to figure myself out, just trying to figure out how to be a writer. And it's just fun because, I don't know, it's just fun. And then again, there's some pages in the back. But here's a picture of me. This is from, I think, 1992 when I first lived in Denver. I'm sorry if this is too much like a flashback to memory lane and I go down a rabbit hole of memory. I don't mean to, but when you start opening the pages, that's what happens. I love this little one. This is like a classic. I stuck this on, but this is some kind of classic Portuguese notebook. It's like a little blue Portuguese notebook. And I had this when bought this when I lived in Portugal. So this one starts from 2009, February 2009, when I was in Paris. And then it ends in March. And this was the year I lived. This was the year I lived in Europe, and I had just left Portugal. I had been in love and left Portugal in October. And so this was the time like right before I came back to the United States. So just some notes, some lists. There's a few sketches in here. So that's some notes, people I've met. This was also the time when I was developing the concept behind Capture the Now, like using the alphabet to capture words. So there's some of that in there. I love that cute little notebook. This is, I don't know what brand this is. This might be Running Rhino. This is from January 2005, and I love the cover. And then I added my own items to the back. And I love these notebooks that kind of have the string that attach onto here. But this has some things that are glued in here. This is from a trip to New York with my then boyfriend. We went and saw the Christo Gates project in Central Park. So there's always this, I still do this. I have a list of things that I want to do on the weekend. And I know it's like, oh, it's the weekend, just let yourself relax. But if I don't have an idea of the things I want to do, the weekend will just kind of slip away and then I won't do it. I don't generally like hardcover books like this. This one isn't so bad because it's pretty easy to open. But this one, again, I need to put so what I would like to do is have the dates on the beginning pages. But I can look, I always date my pages because I just want to know. Then I can track myself in time and my life in time. So this one's September 2002 to October 2002. See if there's anything else I want to show. It's really just chronicling my life. This is my current notebook. This is this beautiful notebook put out by Chronicle Books, and it's in partnership with Mohawk Paper. And I love them. I love the dot grid, and if you can see that the dot grid, and then there is a pocket in the back, and I like to put things in there with washi tape. This is a needs inventory from the nonviolent communication. And then in the back here, this is something that I've been doing in my journal. It's called the Daily Dozen, and I'll put this in the Patreon. And this is a positive psychology thing. What it is every day you do a list of 3 positive things, 3 challenges, 3 blessings, and then future gratitude. And I like to do that when I'm stuck for what to write. I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to say. So that's a kind of a simple process for um, uh, putting stuff in the journal. I like when I see pages like this that have a variety of things. You'll see more of that. This was the first time I used one of these notebooks. I finished this one in April of this year, and I started it October 1st. So this was before I was doing my artist planner. This is I do like it when I manage to get a sketch in there. This is a sketch of when I went to New York and I had breakfast by myself. And so this is really kind of poignant for me because I really was following my intuition to go to New York. And I did. I'm glad I did, because shortly after that, New York was not the same. So I love this notebook. I love a notebook that has a great feel. It's got the little thong, the notebook thong. And I highly recommend these. They're a good number of pages that'll last a long time. I'm on my second one. So a notebook that I really had enjoyed using was this. This is a Hanamullah Diary Flex notebook, and I will write most of these down. Some of them I don't know what kind of notebook they are. Like, I don't know what I'll look up the Portuguese one, but I don't really know what kind of notebook this is. This is from 1990, so I have no idea. I wouldn't use this now. I don't really like that cover. But these are fabulous. I've been working with Hanamullah. They've been a sponsor of some of my programs, which means they send me stuff, paper and notebooks. This is a German paper company from like 1592. And when they sent me this, I was like, I have my notebooks I like. Come on, what's the deal? But the cool thing about this one is it's refillable. So, and it's got, let's see if I'm kind of a blank, but it's got dot grid pages. So I love that. And so I have filled this many of them, and I take them out and I write the date on the spine. The thing I'm looking for in a notebook for writing is that it's small enough for me to take with me really easily. And that's what I love about this one, is it just kind of goes in a pocket. It goes in a bag really easily. And I love that. Some notebooks are of a specific place and time. And this is from the Persephone book shop in London. It's on Lamb's Conduit. And look at this cute brand logo they have. Look at how beautiful these end papers are. So in case you don't know about Persephone Books, Persephone Books is a publisher and bookshop in London, and what they do is they've reprinted a lot of books by women that were popular in their time but didn't, for some reason or another, endure and didn't last. But these are books that they believe belong in the canon. And so they've got a list of their books there. And when I was in the shop, I couldn't decide which of their books to buy. So I got a blank book, and then the end papers are fabrics from that era of the book as well. And so I bought a bunch of bookmarks with the fabric. You also see mind maps in my sketchbook. This is parts of Cynthia. I'm sometimes an angry asshole. I'm a savvy traveler, kind giver, smart and ambitious businesswoman, sad and lonely spinster. This was before I met Steve. So this was right before I met Steve. So this one, it was a really also a very nice cover, small, easy to carry. I did the The Lotus and the Lily process in this. That's a book with guided, I wouldn't say meditations, guided writing prompts over 30 days. I'll write that in the notes too. Here's another favorite kind of notebook. This is by the artist Jill Bliss, who lives in the Pacific Northwest, and she does a lot of nature art, nature-inspired art. I found one of these notebooks, I think in San Francisco, and it's kind of cool because they've got pages that have art on them. And I wouldn't normally use notebooks like that, but I love them. And I also love that she has, I'm trying to find that. So these are both blank pages and lined pages and dot grid pages. And I love that. I love that. So this one's from 2013. The other thing that's cool about these is they're not that expensive. They're like $10. So some of the other notebooks are a little more expensive. Usually it's like $20 for a notebook, a nice notebook, which I long ago just surrendered to the fact that I spend money on notebooks. I use them all the time. This is on recycled paper with soy-based inks. You can find more about Jill Bliss on jillbliss.com. She makes really lovely note cards as well. But I've got a bunch of these. I love them. And now we're up to, I'm writing every day in the Devoted Writer, and I've got only this many pages left to go. And I'm thinking it might be just exactly this month that I'll finish it. So what's next? What's the next notebook? It's going to be the Hanamullah notebook. They sent me this. So 1584, I think that's when their company was founded. It's a German paper company that's mostly photography paper, but then they also do really lovely art paper and notebooks. So check this out. This is pretty sexy. This has got the dot grid, which I love. And then there's these kind of cool blue pages in the middle. What am I going to do with that? Like, what would you do with this? Would you like do something separate in there? Maybe that's a fun place for me to do sketches. That could be fun. I don't know. Share ideas with me if you have them. It's so pristine. Don't you love, like there's still the label on it. Look at this nice little note in the inside. Thank you. Thank you. Just a thank you. So, I love like a pristine notebook, and then I love a notebook that's like starting to come up on the edge. So I put one of my creative blessings in there. You manifest your abundant ideas easily. I love that. So this one also, look at how sexy is this. It has 3 little book thongs, which I love. I'm sure there's a word for these, but I like thinking of them as thongs for a book. I love something that's elegant and useful at the same time. So I could go on and on, but I think you probably get the point. So I'm trying to anticipate some of your questions. Do I write every day? Pretty much. I don't have the most consistent journaling practice. I'm writing all the time, every day at work. I'm really writing every day, all the time. So a lot of my writing is work writing. And in the Devoted Writer, what I'll often do is I'll commit to writing every day in my journal to start the day. And I've been doing that this month. I'm on day 20 and I love it. And I would like to keep going with that, but I also don't harass or harangue or stress myself out about having to do something every day. So I keep them. So the other question I anticipate, because a lot of people will just get rid of their journals, they'll destroy them, they'll purge, they'll release them. And I just can't imagine doing that. I don't know what will happen to them when I die. I do have a person that I've designated to take them. You know, it's like, well, if I'm famous, then they might be donated to some library, or probably won't be famous. So I don't know, you know, that's such a difficult question. It really forces us to think about our immortality and what we leave behind. And so I have them now. They're all in boxes. I probably have like 15 or 20 boxes of them in the garage. We all have our quirks, and that's mine. Okay, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts or reactions to this. If you have questions, let me know. And then the next video will be how to use an author notebook. Okay, thanks for watching.